Hello everyone, this is Pedro Rosso from the SmartJSP team. Today we will be talking a bit about the SmartSalud solution, which is an ERP extension for the healthcare industry. We will be talking about what are the main processes and some of the additional details that we have here in our agenda. Okay, so at this moment, let's analyze what is the scope of this application. So the general scope is focused in the basic processes for a small clinic initially, but the long-term vision is intended to use for huge hospitals with many locations and many processes, okay? But for now, let's focus in the basic processes, which is the scope of this demonstration. So we are talking about supporting medical records with the HL7 model. We are also supporting appointments and calendars for physicians and all the process for that day-to-day scheduling process. And we also support some advanced functionality to generate commissions for the physicians in an automatic way, and that really means and transparent integration with the ERP documents like the invoices and so on. This is a really powerful solution because it's multilingual, it's really flexible, and as I mentioned before, it's an extension for the IDEMPIR ERP or Smart ERP solution that is available in French, English, and Spanish, okay? So with that clear, more or less, let's go and see how is the application inside, and let's see the general characteristics and how's the navigation internally, okay? So we will be using a demo environment here. At this moment, we are using the security layer, and that security layer essentially is allowing us to have access to a specific functionality with specific roles. So this is a really powerful security model. So just to have that in mind. The navigation is really simple. On the left, we have some kind of favorites. You can customize these ones, are like quick access to the main functionality that you are using in a day-to-day basis. On the top, we have main menus section, and here we can see what are the main groups of functionality. We'll be talking about each of them in a bit more of detail, okay? And we also have isolated all the advanced functionality, which is huge because this is an ERP, as I mentioned before, so don't forget to have that in your mind. So let's talk a bit about the patient data model, which is interesting because we were spending interesting time trying to develop a data model as standard as possible. So we were trying to follow some of the guidelines suggested by the EHL7, and that really means that you also have the basic information like you have here, but you have all the appointment history, and so for each of the appointments, you have all the details like weight, height, blah, blah, blah. But each of these one includes many observations, and each of the observations that a physician is looking for the patient might have concepts, prescriptions, and all the medical referrals that they want. So it's a really flexible data model, and as I mentioned before, it's following the HL7 standard. So navigation is really quick, so you can see here that there are many ways to navigate or to see the information in a hierarchical way. So we can switch from this detailed view to this kind of grid view where you can see all the patients. You also can create reports really easy for all the windows if you want. So this is kind of a standard functionality for the ERP framework that we have. Which is really cool, is that you can customize a lot of these things without any development work or any technical stuff. It's just a matter to have the functional knowledge and to play with the application per se. So with that application, flexible application available, essentially what we are looking for at this moment is, okay, we already have the patient data model clear in our mind. Let's see what we can do with the physicians, for example. So if I am a physician and I want to define that I will be available for appointments, it's really, really easy. You can go here, let's say that I'm Comer Loretta or something like that. I can work with different specialties, so that's not an issue. We can support that case. And defining that I will be available, let's say, in this hospital and I will be available between today and the next week. 30 minutes in blocks of 30 minutes, but just attending Wednesday and Friday. Just those days between this time and this time, I will be available from that. Okay, so I will be defining that, and let me check. We have to choose a location because we are supporting a flexible model here. So with this one, we are creating, you can see here, the availability. And what that really means is, for example, if a patient want to schedule an appointment, that's the example that we would be analyzing right now. It's, let's say that I want to schedule an appointment, and a patient that is called Barton, I guess. Let's see. Okay, I will be looking for information of this patient. So we can apply as many filters as we want. We will be working in a close feature in an additional improvement for the touch screen devices and things like that. So at this moment, let's say that this is the patient that want to have an appointment. So he's looking an appointment for an orthodontics, especially. So you can see here that we have the availability. So just check here, check there, and you are done. So you don't need anything else. So this is a really, really quick process, flexible process. You can define as many specialties as you want. You can support many hospitals, blah, blah, blah. So these processes have been optimized to be really, really productive. What else you have? So you have the medical records. We were talking about appointments. You have a really flexible model in terms of configurations, so you can customize whatever you want about clinics, insurances, medicines. You can load the information, let's say in an automatic way from an existent wholesale, let's say you want to have those concepts there, you can do it as well. Okay, also you have a lot of flexibility to generate commissions, so you can create like commission rules. And what that really means is that you can define, if you are, let's say, the owner of a hospital, of the clinic, you can define if you want to pay in cash or a percentage for each of the services that a physician is performing. And at the end of the day, let's say in a monthly basis, the system is taking track or summarizing that for you and generating invoice and the payments, whatever you need to pay that to your physicians and to have everything done from the accounting, financial, and the operational side. Okay, going back to our agenda, so just a quick review. We were talking about the scope of the solution, we were talking about the data model, we were talking about the physician use case, which is just the patient information. So that's what usually a physician is filling. Something interesting is that we also have a mobile application that is intended to support let's say really quick use cases. So here we have like an additional flexibility for you guys. And lastly, it's just to have in mind that this application is really easy to be integrated with the Smart POS for pharmacy. What that means is that you can get all this functionality plus all the functionality of points of sales to track the information about the medicines, to have all the inventory, accounting, financial, everything to control like a complete pharmacy integrated with this solution. So that's really easy. And everything that we have been talking today is open source. So that's our main focus as a company. So that's really important for you guys to have in mind. Okay, so I just want to emphasize right now that also this solution is part of a huge solution, a complete solution, which is the ERP, where you have all the sales, purchase, requisition, and everything that you need for your hospital. So the extensibility and the potential to create bigger solutions in the future is really, really big. Okay, so let's summarize and take maybe some of the conclusions. So if you are evaluating our software, maybe you will be getting that for your analysis in an interesting way. Okay, so this solution is really flexible in terms of configuration, and you can scale this solution to really complex scenarios like clusters where you have 7 by 24 operations or things like that. The architecture is really, really powerful. So it doesn't matter the operating system, and we will be supporting a lot of those scenarios, and it's really well tested with different industries as well. Security is one of the important things here in terms of the you have audit tracks for everything that is happening in the systems, who is doing what, where. Okay, so that's really important, especially in the health industry. So just for you to have in mind. Okay. And we also have, we're talking about a lot of standards. So this is application that is, it's a web application, but it's following really well practices. So it's supporting many browsers, many operating systems in the server side. It's made in Java technology with a lot of additional frameworks and really, really large generation tools. So what that really means is that you are safe if you are building your solution in something like this, because there are like 30, 40 companies like us working in this framework and sharing innovation and supporting all these processes for the future. Okay, so this was essentially the scope of this video. We hope that it's a good overview of the functionality. You have all the contact information here on the screen. So if you have any question, let us know. You can follow us in Twitter. You can follow us also, send information in our website. We have very active communities in some of these applications. And we will be glad to receive your questions. Thank you for your time and have a good day.